How much does a Newfoundland dog eat? Surprising news about your huge dog's appetite. Many aspiring Newfoundland dog owners start out their journey by wondering if they have what it takes to properly care for such a sizable companion canine. One of those worries relates to the Newfoundland dog's appetite and the cost of providing food for this breed of dog. This is a great question to ask if you are considering whether to add a Newfoundland dog to your family. After all, you don't want to make a decision that will stress you or your budget out. In this article, we talk specifics about how much Newfoundland dogs typically eat in puppyhood and adulthood and in the senior dog years. How much does a Newfoundland dog eat? As the Newfoundland Dog Club of America points out, Newfoundland dogs actually eat a surprisingly modest amount given their enormous size. Club officials report that a typical meal for a Newfoundland puppy is 2 cups of kibble 3 times per day. Adult Newfoundland dogs eat scarcely more than that. 2 to 3 cups of kibble twice per day are quite normal for daily meals. Calculating the average cost of feeding a Newfoundland dog. As NCA News explains, the brand and type of dog food you choose to offer your Newfoundland is going to have an impact on the monthly cost of your dog's meals. This will also change throughout life since your Newfoundland puppy will need to eat an appropriate large to giant-sized puppy food as opposed to an all breeds or small breed puppy food. You may also decide to transition your Newfoundland to a senior dog food later in life to compensate for a less active dog and keep your Newf's weight in check. An example would be if you decide to feed your Newfoundland a whole and complete dry kibble dog food. One 40-pound bag of good quality giant breed dog food will yield approximately 1 month of servings if you are feeding 2 cups per day in the morning and at night. Depending on the brand you choose, you may pay anywhere from $15 to $60 up for a month's supply of dog food. That you will also need to budget for training treats and any other healthy treat foods you want to offer your dog. So as you can see, it really isn't any more expensive to feed a Newfoundland dog than it would be to feed a different dog breed that was smaller in size. This would be consistent even if you decided to feed a different type of diet such as raw, grain-free, or homemade since the amount of daily food required isn't much more than a smaller dog breed might require. How can Newfoundland dogs be so big and eat so little? This is a big question. For a dog breed that the American Kennel Club, AKC, reports can easily weigh 150 plus pounds in adulthood, you could think these dogs would need a lot more daily calories to stay healthy. However, as the Newfoundland Club of the UK explains, there is actually a health danger associated with overfeeding a Newfoundland puppy or adult dog. Specifically, if your Newfie puppy grows too heavy too fast, this can place a potentially damaging amount of pressure on growing bones and joints, leading to lifelong structural damage. The goal is for your puppy to put on no more than 3 to 4 pounds per week, 1.5 to 2 kilograms per week, until your dog reaches the age of 6 months. You can tell your dog is too heavy if you cannot feel the slight indentation of the rib cage when you palpate the chest area. If you need help checking your dog's weight in this way, ask your veterinarian for a demonstration. Identifying the right nutrient ratio for a Newfoundland dog to eat. For a large to giant breed of dog like the Newfoundland dog, you want to aim for a particular ratio of nutrients to avoid unbalanced or too fast growth. Newfoundland puppy nutrition recommendations. For Newfoundland puppies, the Umfleet Farms breeder recommends aiming for 28 to 29% protein content in puppy food. Also, be extra sure that the food you buy is a puppy food formulated for large to giant-sized puppies. Typically, you will be feeding this special puppy food blend at least until your Newfie reaches the age of 6 months. After your dog turns 6 months old, you can start the transition to a suitable large to giant dog breed adult food. However, as Shirebeer's Newfoundland's breeder points out, if for some reason your puppy starts growing too fast, you may need to switch to the adult dog food earlier to slow down your dog's growth to a safe pace. Newfoundland adult dog nutrition recommendations. For Newfoundland adult dogs, you want to aim for no more than 23 to 24% protein content. And here again, you want to be sure you are feeding a whole and complete adult dog food that is specifically formulated for large to giant-sized dog breeds. Newfoundland senior dog nutrition recommendations. If you want to transition your older Newfoundland dog to senior dog food, all of the same would hold true. This can be especially the case for senior dog foods since often large to giant-sized dogs begin to have more difficulty with joints and movement in the later years of life. Large and giant dog breed foods will often contain special supplementation to help ease structural aches and pains associated with these dogs' large size. Potential dog food allergies in Newfoundland dogs. As Shirebeer's Newfoundland's breeder explains, Newfoundland dogs may look so large and imposing that they seem invincible, but they can actually be quite vulnerable to food allergies. Many Newfoundland dogs are sensitive to food additives, fillers made of grain, soy, dairy, and other items that are commonly added to many cheap or boutique dog foods today. When a Newfoundland dog develops food allergies, one of the most common places you will see symptoms actually is in the skin and coat. As New Friends Rescue Charity explains, treatment-resistant ear infections, skin rashes, coat loss, dermatitis, and other conditions can all arise from allergies to ingredients in your dog's food. If you want to know more about Newfoundland dog nutrition, visit fluffydogbreeds.com.